Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of history that links two very different nations. Imagine this. In the lush mountains of the Philippines, a red flag has flown for over half a century. But this isn't just any flag. It's a symbol inspired by a revolution born thousands of miles away in Beijing. This is the incredible story of how the Chinese Communist Party and the Communist Party of the Philippines became deeply intertwined. Not just by politics, but by a shared ideology, a common strategy, and a powerful dream of a people's war. It's a connection forged in fire, shaped by history, and tested by time. Let's unravel it. So, let's rewind to the 1960s. A decade of global unrest and massive shifts. All across the world, communist movements were grappling with a major split. Do they side with the Soviet Union or with Mao Zedong's China? In the Philippines, a brilliant young professor named Jose Maria Sison was watching all this unfold from afar, and he made his choice. Sison, a poet and a passionate political organizer, felt that the existing Communist Party, the old PKP, had simply lost its revolutionary spark. He saw it as too reformist, too focused on urban areas, and dangerously detached from the peasants, the very people Mao Zedong proclaimed were the true heart of any revolution. Fast forward to December 1968. Sison took a bold step. He led a breakaway faction that officially re-established the Communist Party of the Philippines, or CPP, firmly rooting it in the principles of Marxism, Leninism, Mao Zedong thought. This wasn't just a political reshuffle. It was a powerful declaration of faith in Mao's unique model, the protracted People's War, a strategy designed to surround cities from the countryside. Just a few months later, in March 1969, Sison joined forces with Bernabe Kumander Dante Buscaino, a farmer who had become a fierce fighter. Together, they founded the New People's Army, or NPA. Their mission was clear: wage armed struggle, seize political power, and build a brand new state, a Philippine version of Mao's revolution. What were their textbooks? Mao's own writings on guerrilla warfare, on protracted war, and serve the people. Their strategy was meticulous: mobilize the peasants, establish strong base areas, and only strike when victory was absolutely certain. At this stage, China wasn't just a model, it was a powerful symbol. The CPP looked to Beijing for ideological guidance, and soon, they hoped, for tangible support. The late 1960s and early 1970s really marked the peak of Maoist influence across Southeast Asia. From the jungles of Thailand to the islands of Indonesia, from Malaysia to the Philippines, small revolutionary groups drew immense courage from the Chinese example. According to declassified reports and historical accounts, the CCP did provide some assistance to the CPP during this period. It wasn't a massive operation. No armies, no airlifts, but it was significant both symbolically and strategically. We're talking about things like training, revolutionary literature, small arms, and crucial ideological mentoring. This wasn't formal state sponsorship, it was more of a fraternal revolutionary relationship. But for the Filipino revolutionaries, it was enough. It kept them inspired, convinced that the world's most populous communist power saw them as true comrades in arms. Early connections were often made through revolutionary sympathizers and regional networks, individuals who had studied or trained in China and later became vital links to Southeast Asian insurgents. But then, in 1972, the world fundamentally shifted. U.S. President Richard Nixon made that historic trip to Beijing, shaking hands with Chairman Mao Zedong and Premier Zhou Enlai. China, which had been isolated for decades, began its process of opening up to the world. Suddenly, actively supporting foreign insurgencies became a liability, a complication in its new diplomatic strategy. By 1976, Mao was gone. By the late 1970s, Deng Xiaoping was busy transforming China into a completely new kind of power, pragmatic, focused on economic growth, and deeply diplomatic. The PRC's foreign policy pivoted dramatically, moving away from exporting revolution towards securing trade, international recognition, and peace. And what did that mean? No more overt or covert support for groups like the CPP, NPA. The Philippines, after all, was now seen as an important regional neighbor, and Beijing wanted allies, not instability. With the loss of Chinese backing, the CPP-NPA found itself truly alone. It had to turn inward, relying on local fundraising, what they called revolutionary taxes, and grassroots support from the people in the countryside. By the 1980s, the movement had impressively grown into tens of thousands of guerrillas, spreading across almost every province of the Philippines. But here's the interesting part. The ideological connection to Maoism remained incredibly strong. Jose Sison continued to quote Mao, and CPP cadre still studied Chinese revolutionary history as if it were gospel. Even as China itself transformed into a capitalist powerhouse, the CPP seemed frozen in Mao's time, fighting a war from the past in a country that was steadily moving towards democracy. This story really shows how global movements can influence local struggles, and how even the strongest connections can change with the tides of geopolitics. It's a powerful reminder of history's complex tapestry. Thank you so much for watching and for joining me on this journey through history. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next part.